Everything you need to know about Horizon Zero Dawn. I took a break from making videos for a day, and then it turned into 4 days. Granted, I've been having problems with my voice, and then my grandparents were visiting. We gotta talk about this game because it is almost out. February 28th. This was my first year going to E3, 2016. It was a blast. There were demos and games, cool people, a lot of really cool people to meet, and characters walking around. It was really cool, and I can't wait to go next year. But Horizon was there, and it was definitely one of the highlights during the presentations. I was inspired to make this video when I saw how much new information we have about the game. Just as a brief overview of what kind of game we're looking at and what we're talking about, I'll tell you this RPG depicts a green, flourishing post-apocalyptic world full of mechanical beasts. Play as Aloy, who must hunt and craft to survive the journey she goes on. When this game was announced in 2015, a lot of early fans were hoping the 2017 release date would change to something earlier, but let me tell you why it's great that they took this long. It is a good thing. Aside from the studio Guerrilla Games working really hard on this title and trying to make it worthy of going on shelves and going into our homes, now since they've waited this long, we also have the PS4 Pro out, and Guerrilla Games has told us that their game makes full use of the new upgraded hardware in this new console. Now, if you've seen the trailers, you can feel pretty confident that there's going to be some complex environments. It'll take some horses. The video you're seeing right now is a gameplay trailer that was recorded using the PS4 Pro, and we have a statement from a developer from Guerrilla. Technical director, I'm gonna freaking botch this, Michael van der Leeuw, has talked on the PlayStation blog. He does state, the extra power of the new hardware allows us to get even closer to our vision for a lush and vibrant living world. The extra detail in the natural environment and the enhanced colors really adds to the experience. I gotta say, one of the big draws about this game for me is the colors and the sounds. The really vivid colors of the environment combined with the robotic, kind of dubstep-y sounds from the robots is just such a cool combination. What that technical director told us is a little bit exciting, and considering the lush environments in this game, I have to say, I am itching to run around and experience this world for myself. Gameplay. The footage revealed at E3 this year showed us how important crafting is to Horizon Zero Dawn. We see that Aloy is crafting tools to help her take down various beasts that carry vital materials. Out of all the resources in this game, it appears that the metal shards are what you'll always be hunting for. They allow you to buy goods from shopkeepers and villages and building different forms of weaponry. There's explosive arrows, but there's also different types of bombs, new clothing, and other deadly weapons. There's a lot to use in this game. I can't say much about the motion or how the game is actually going to play, but the game will be encouraging you to hunt bigger and badder creatures to get better gear, because those giant monsters carry powerful crafting goods, and that's how you get better gear. That much I know. Character Aloy. The game stars Aloy as opposed to Aloy. She's a stranger to the outside world and is mainly familiar with her home village and the other tribespeople. She starts off being an ace with the bow and has a mind for mechanics. What is cool about Aloy is she isn't just a capable modern-day warrior who's out to kill for bloodlust or revenge. She's a strong survivor that kills out of necessity, and with all of these shooters, I'm a little exhausted at the idea of just shooting more bad guys in a new game. At Guerrilla Games, they looked around for inspirations for this character and found some good qualities from Ygritte from Game of Thrones, Jon Snow's love, Ellen Ripley from Alien, and Sarah Connor from The Terminator. They said they wanted to do a good job at representing a strong, resilient woman hero, and I gotta say, those are all freaking awesome examples. Like, they picked some really good places to draw inspiration from. The Scattered Tribes. Horizon Zero Dawn depicts a world 1,000 years after Mother Earth knocked out humanity. It's unclear what happened, and that's what Aloy wants to find out. The stories don't tell where the old ones went, is one of the quotes from her in a trailer. Where cities turned to graves. Whatever did happen, it sent society back into the Stone Age, complete with rich folklore and cave paintings. There were once skyscrapers and our solar panels that we were building, but all that remains are aging concrete foundations that have been overgrown by vibrant plant life. That's what excites me about this game. Beauty, there's commentary, there's mystery, there's just a bunch of things that's gonna make this game great. Assuming the gameplay is fun, and it's just also a fun game to play. Oh, the robots. 1,000 years of evolution gave the world more than a shift in humanity's advancements. The wilderness, which is everywhere, is now populated by life forms that are some kind of cybernetic robots that look and act like mammals, birds, and other beasts. On top of the food chain is the Thunderclaw, which I believe is the beast that we see in the first gameplay footage that was released a couple years ago. There are other violent monsters, but not all of them are out to get you, at least not directly. There are deer-like robots that harvest open fields and turn the organic material into bright green fuel. For an example of what you can do in this game, Aloy can go up to these deer-like robots and break off these canisters and use them for multiple purposes. There's really weird long necks that you can climb, there's crocodiles, there's watchers flying around, there's buffalo. I mean, there's so many things going on in this world. And they all have behaviors. Buffaloes or broadheads are skittish, for example, and will run away while others will hunt you down. And apparently all these creatures are walking around doing their own thing. They're not set to any specific place to patrol one area, go to this area, and then go over here and do the cycle again. Guerrilla Games has been working really hard to not make that their standard. That brings us to the world of Horizon. This map is going to be gigantic. And I used to think that there would be different zones, like what we got in the Witcher series. However, every distant mountain, every far-off forest, or apartment complex waterfall is an actual area that you can visit as you journey throughout this world. It just sounds so freaking cool. And with all the environment footage that I've seen, it just looks so fun to explore. Like, I just want to explore this world. And better yet, the game doesn't have load times at all. No load times. The traveling is entirely seamless. And there is, of course, night and day cycles and dynamic weather systems, as well as interplay between different pieces of this big map. And just like I hinted at before, every species can roam freely throughout the environment, and I think that's going to create a lot of surprises. This game has potential to have a hell of a lot of replayability. I'm telling you. The beasts can also react directly with each other without any involvement of you. Also, to help the player understand how these creatures are interacting with each other, the bright lights that function as their eyes are color-coded. Blue means they're just hanging out, doing their thing. Yellow indicates that something has startled them. And red means that they are either fleeing away or charging towards their prey, which isn't always you, which I thought was pretty cool. At least that's what they stated. Man, I'm good at transitions. This brings us to combat. The name of the game is Stealth and Agility. A good hunter knows multiple ways to take down their prey. Aloy's got 3 blanket methods for handling robotic dangers: sneaking, traps, or assault. The player may find that stealth is an effective way to line up that perfect shot with the bow, but at some point, a Thunderjaw might come crashing through the forest and mess up your shot. This is what the developers have said. And of course, this would force you into a direct confrontation, so you have to switch up your playstyle. Now, I know that isn't new to games, but I thought it was cool to imagine that these things are going to be moving around in unexpected ways. I want to be surprised. I want to be on edge. I want a game that's going to put me on the edge of my seat all the time. But yeah, say a Thunderjaw comes in. This is where agility is going to help you. It's always going to be David versus Goliath, according to the studio, and the combat will rarely be a breeze. You'll need to duck and dodge around the missiles and teeth. And yep, these are pretty much dinosaurs with rocket launchers. And in the game, you can break off pieces of the enemy and use those weapons against them. And speaking of breaking things off of robotic dinosaurs, we've got, finally, crafting and leveling up. This is all I know, so bear with me. This wouldn't be an RPG without item hoarding and character progression, and we know a little bit of it. We know that Aloy can gain XP from completing quests, downing enemies, and exploring the vast wilderness. Crafting, I think we touched on. That I told you everything I know about crafting. You get materials from the beasts, and probably materials from the land as well. That would probably be the only thing I've said so far that isn't totally confirmed or came to us from the studio themselves. That was all the information I had on crafting and leveling up. And you know what? This is all the information I have on the game overall. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more of these, stick around. You know what to do, subscribe and all that. But also, please hit that bell button if you're going to subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos. I want to keep in touch with you guys, and seeing as this is a new channel, I hope that I can remember to remind every single person, or at least close to that, to hit the bell button. Anyways guys, have a great night, and as always, dork it up.